Hello students, very good morning to all of you. Today I am going to begin with the 7th chapter of supplementary reader, that is snapshots, and the name of the chapter is Birth, written by A.J. Cronin. So I told you that. So as the title of the chapter suggests, so this whole chapter deals with the birth of a child. That is, a child was born, but it was a stillborn child, and the whole chapter details about how the doctor in this chapter, the main character in this chapter, how he saved the life or he revived the stillborn child, as the child meant a lot to his parents, that is Joe Morgan and Susan Morgan, who were now blessed with a child after 20 years of their marriage. So everyone in the family, along with Joe Morgan and Susan Morgan, Susan's mother was also waiting anxiously for her grandchild. So before beginning this chapter, I would first give you a brief introduction of the author A.J. Cronin. So for this author A.J. Cronin, his full name is Archibald Joseph Cronin. He was a Scottish novelist, dramatist and non-fiction writer. He was born on July 1896 in Dunbarton Shire in Scotland in 1896. In 1914, he entered Glasgow University to study medicine, but his studies were interrupted by World War I, in which he served in the British Navy as a surgeon sub-lieutenant. He received his MB and CHB in 1919 and took a job as a ship's surgeon on a passenger liner. He afterwards took positions at several hospitals, and in 1921 he married Agnes Mary and moved to South Wales to start a medical practice. He received his MD degree in 1925 from the University of Glasgow, and then he moved to London to start a practice there. In 1926, Cronin opened a medical practice in London's fashionable West End, but soon after ill health forced him to take a leave of absence. And in the year 1930, he was diagnosed with an ulcer and ordered to take 6 months complete rest on a milk diet. A.J. Cronin was one of the most renowned storytellers of the 20th century. His best known works are The Citadel and The Keys of the Kingdom, both of which were made into Oscar nominated films. He also created the Dr. Finlay character, a hero of a series of stories that served as the basis for the long running BBC television and radio series entitled Dr. Finlay's Casebook. So this was about the author. Now I'll give you a brief introduction of this chapter. So for this I must tell you that this chapter Birth is an extract from A.J. Cronin's novel The Citadel. And this extract describes how a young doctor revives a child that is born lifeless. Joe Morgan and his wife are a middle-aged couple. They have been married for 20 years but have not got any child so far. And now Mrs. Morgan is expecting her first child. Both her husband and her mother are feeling very nervous because the delivery of the child is going to be before time. A young doctor named Andrew is called in and the doctor has to put in hard labor in the delivery of the child. When the child is born, it seems to be stillborn or lifeless, and this shock could be too much for Morgans to bear. So, while the doctor is attending to the mother, the nurse places the baby under the bed among dirty newspapers. And after assuring himself that the mother is safe, the doctor looks for the baby and finding it under the bed, he at once pulls it out. And it was a boy perfectly formed. And the body was warm but was not breathing. At once, the doctor sets to revive the child's breath. And after half an hour's terrible effort, he is at last successful and he thanks God and hands the child to the nurse. So, in this chapter, the main characters are, first is Dr. Andrew Manson, who is a newly qualified, who takes a job as assistant to Dr. Page in a small mining town. On arrival, he finds to his surprise that Page is partly paralyzed and will never work again. And this means Dr. Andrew Manson will have to do most of the clinic's work in this mining town at a meager pay, at a very small pay. Another character is midwife. The midwife, who is an experienced nurse to help in the birth of the child. The midwife and Andrew are contrasting personalities. The midwife is a foil to Andrew, and she feels hopeless, resigned, helpless, fearful, and untrained. On the other hand, Andrew proves to be more optimistic, diligent, efficient, self-sufficient, spontaneous, and well-trained. And you all know that in early days, the doctors were not called to give birth, to help the mother to give birth to a child, but the midwives were called. That is, Daiya were called at home to help the lady to give birth to a child. So now another character is Joe Morgan in this story. Joe Morgan is a well-built person in 40s. He lives in a small Welsh town of Blenley and works as a driller at the mines. And he has been married for 20 years but have not got any child so far. Another character is Mrs. Morgan, who is wife of Joe Morgan, who is expecting her first child, and both her husband and her mother are feeling very nervous because the delivery of the child is going to be before time. Then next character is Christine, who is a school teacher, and Andrew falls in love and contemplates marrying her. Then another character is Morgan's mother, Susan Morgan's mother, who is a tall, grey-haired woman of nearly 70. Now, let us discuss about the theme of the chapter. And for the theme, the story birth centers around the character of Dr. Andrew, who miraculously revives a newborn child given up for dead. Dr. Andrew was a young doctor who was struggling to establish himself as a medical practitioner. His evening had been quite disappointing and he feared that the night would be no better. But he ends up doing something real by reviving a dead child, or a listless child, or you can say a lifeless child. Thus, the story hinges on the theme never say die attitude and the precious gift of life which only God can grant and a doctor can retrieve and restore. That is what fulfills a doctor. This was the theme. Now let us begin with the explanation of the chapter. Now let's begin with the chapter, reading an explanation of it. The first paragraph says, though it was nearly midnight when Andrew reached Bringover, he found Joe Morgan waiting for him, walking up and down with short steps between the closed surgery and the entrance to the house. At the sight of him, the burly driller's face expressed relief. So, first let's see to the meaning of the hard words. So, here the word surgery means a place where a doctor, dentist, or other medical practitioners treats or advises patients. Burly, burly is a person who is large and strong, or you can say is heavily built. Then driller, driller is someone who works at the drilling controls on the rig floor. So, in these lines, it is said that when Andrew reached his house at around 12 at night, he caught the sight of Joe Morgan climbing up and down the stairs between his small clinic and the entrance to his house. On seeing Andrew, the heavily built driller, Joe heaved a sigh of relief as he was waiting anxiously for Andrew because his wife was about to give birth to a child. Then further it says, "Hey doctor, I'm glad to see you. I've been back and forward here this last hour. The missus wants you before time too." Andrew abruptly recalled from the contemplation of his own affairs. That is, he was lost in his own thoughts, so he just came back. Then further says, told Morgan to wait. He went into the house for his bag. Then together they sat out for number 12 Blaina Terrace. The night air was cool and deep with quiet mystery. Usually so perceptive, Andrew now felt dull and listless. He had no premonition that this night call would prove unusual, still less that it would influence his whole future in Blaney. The two men walked in silence until they reached the door of number 12. Then Joe drew up short. "I'll not come in," he said, and his voice showed signs of strain. "But man, I know ye do well for us." So now let's see to the meaning of the hard words in these lines. The word ye means an old written form of the word the, and contemplation is deep reflective thought. Abruptly means suddenly and unexpectedly. Perceptive means having or showing sensitive insight. Listless means lacking energy or enthusiasm. Premonition is a strong feeling that something is about to happen, especially something unpleasant. So in these lines it is said that Joe Morgan, he expressed how pleased he was to see Dr. Andrew. He tells Andrew how he has been waiting there for him for about an hour now, and Joe's wife needs Andrew to examine her even before the time of her child's birth. She is in a critical situation. On hearing this, Andrew had a sudden flashback of the unpleasant night he had with his girlfriend Christine. But without wasting further time, he told Joe to wait outside while he got his bag. When he came out, they both began walking towards number 12 Blaina Terrace, where Joe's wife was. It was a cool night, and the streets were silent, which made it mysterious. Andrew, who generally is full of life and spirit, was silent and lacked energy. Andrew had no idea what the night had in store for him, and that it was going to influence his life in Blaney. They both walked silently till they reached number 12. And as soon as they reached there, Joe revealed to Andrew that he does not intend on coming in, but he showed full confidence in Andrew. And Joe's voice was tense and under pressure. So in the above lines, we can see that how Joe Morgan, he was very anxious, or he was panic stricken just because his wife needed the help of a doctor, as the birth of a child meant a lot to him, and his wife, who after the 20 years of their marriage were now waiting for the child to be born. Susan Morgan, she was pregnant after 20 years of their marriage, and the whole family was very much excited to have the child in their life. And Joe Morgan is very much anxious, and at the same time he is feeling very nervous, just because the time of the birth of a child has come, and Joe Morgan's wife Susan Morgan needed the help of a doctor, and Joe Morgan wanted Dr. Andrew, to help his wife to give birth to a child, and shows his trust in the doctor. Now, further, the next line says, inside, a narrow stair led up to a small bedroom, clean but poorly furnished, and lit only by an oil lamp. Here, Mrs. Morgan's mother, a tall grey haired woman of nearly 70, and the stout elderly midwife waited beside the patient, watching Andrew's expression as he moved about the room. So, in these lines, the word stout means rather fat or heavy built, and it is used for a person. Midwife is a person, or typically a woman, who is trained to assist women in childbirth. And as I told you, that midwives are called as daiya in India. So, here in these lines, now Andrew, he entered the gate alone, as Joe Morgan, he refused to enter the house. He was very much nervous, and he did not want to face that, or he did not want to see his wife in pain, and he took the stairs. So Andrew, he took the stairs, which were of rather small width, and reached a bedroom. And the bedroom was not lavish or luxurious, but it was neat. And inside the room were Joe Morgan's mother-in-law, a woman of around 70 with larger than average height and grey hair, along with a plump midwife who was there to assist the childbirth. The midwife was also of an elderly age, and they both sat beside Mrs. Morgan, waiting for Andrew. Further, it says, "Let me make you a cup of tea, Dr. Batch," said the former quickly. After a few moments, Andrew smiled faintly. He saw that the old woman, wise in experience, realized there must be a period of waiting, that she was afraid he would leave the case, saying he would return later. "Don't fret, mother, I'll not run away." So, in these lines, the word bach means used as a term of endearment, or often after a personal name. Smiled faintly means smiling with less energy, or a smile that lacks spirit. Fret means be constantly or visibly anxious or worry. So, in these lines, now it is said that the sweet lady, that is Mrs. Morgan's mother, offered Andrew a cup of tea, and she addressed Andrew as Bach, which is used while displaying affection. And realizing that the old lady might be worried about him leaving during the waiting period, so there was a little bit time in the birth of a child, so that was called a waiting period. So mother of Susan Morgan was scared that, as she was an experienced lady, she knew that there was a little bit of time in the birth of a child, so she was afraid that doctor would not wait there and he would leave, saying that he would come after some time. But this time this lady, she did not want to take any kind of risk, and she did not want doctor to leave the side of her daughter. So Dr. Andrew, he gave her a gentle smile and comforted her, that is Susan's mother, by assuring that he will not go away. And the fact that she anticipated the period of waiting and was worried about him running away made Andrew realize that she was wise and had plenty of experience. So Andrew came to know that Susan's mother, as she is an experienced lady, she knew that there is a time of waiting. So he will have to wait for the right time for the child to be born. Then further, the next line says, down in the kitchen, he drank the tea which she gave him. Overwrought as he was, he knew he could not snatch even an hour's sleep if he went home. He knew too that the case here would demand all his attention. A queer lethargy of spirit came upon him. He decided to remain until everything was over. So, in these lines, the word overwrought means in a state of anxiety, or you can say tired. Snatch means to manage or to take. Queer means strange or odd, and lethargy is the lack of energy and enthusiasm. So, in these lines, it is said that Dr. Andrew, he sipped the tea in the kitchen downstairs, though he was mentally and physically exhausted because of the unpleasant meeting with his girlfriend Christine. He knew it was impossible for him to even get an hour's worth of sleep if he went home, because there was not much time of waiting or not much time left for the child to be born. So he cannot take any kind of risk, because the sooner he would reach home, he would have to leave from there, as any time the child could take birth, and he also could not take any kind of risk. So although new in his line or practice, Dr. Andrew was aware that the situation was critical and called for his attentiveness. And strangely, he felt a bit active and decided to stay at the place till his duty was fulfilled. Then the next line says, an hour later, he went upstairs again, noted the progress made, came down once more, sat by the kitchen fire. It was still, except for the rustle of a cinder in the gate and the slow tick tock of the wall clock. No, there was another sound, the beat of Morgan's footsteps as he paced in the street outside. The old woman opposite him sat in her black dress, quite motionless, her eyes strangely alive and wise, probing, never leaving his face. So, in these lines, the word rustle means to make a soft, muffled, crackling sound. Cinder is a small piece of partly burnt coal or wood that has stopped giving off flames but still has. And combustible is, it is, and this cinder is combustible matter in it. It has the combustible matter in it. And probing means inquiring closely. So, in these lines, it is said that Andrew, he went upstairs after almost an hour to check upon Mrs. Morgan, and he sat near the kitchen fire upon coming back, and it was that time of the night where everything was still. The only sounds that came was of the ticking clock, Joe's footsteps from the outside, and from the almost extinguished piece of coal. While he sat in the kitchen, Mrs. Morgan's mother sat in front of him, wearing her black dress. She looked at him constantly with her wise eyes that were filled with hope. So, what kind of hope was there in Susan Morgan's mother? The hope of the birth of a healthy child. So, the old lady, being an experienced one, knew that the birth of a child was a complicated case with Susan Morgan, as She had some complications, and after 20 years of her marriage, she was about to give birth to a child. So, the child meant a lot to her, and there were, because of the age, there were lot of complications. So, Susan Morgan's mother knew that very well, being an experienced lady. So, she trusted the doctor and she looked at him constantly with her wise eyes that were filled with hope that Andrew would save the child, or would let the child, or would help Susan to give birth to a healthy child which is full of life.